crocodile. Snappy, 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 snappy. It was a bit scary. Oh my lordy, what are we doing? Yes.
4 went out, then how many come back?
Well, hopefully 4.
Remember that cartoon?
No.
Mama Fudd takes the dogs out. 2 dogs going out.
No.
She'll delete all that.
Probably.
No.
Oh Lord. But yes, we're off to the jumping crocodiles.
Snap, snap,
To see the big crocodiles jump out of the water. Hopefully we'll be fine. Wish us luck. I'll bring you back when we get there. Oh, look at the big croc. Get him, Clara. Get him. No. The crocodile's gonna eat you.
I'm going to climb on him.
Are you? You be careful. Get the crocodile.
It's very hot.
Is it?
Yeah.
You right, Cleo?
It's got eyes.
He's got eyes.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so. He needs to see. You got the crocodile. Hey? Oh, there's a butterfly.
Get on the head.
Oh,
You stay where you are.
Clara got him. Hey?
Because we have over 1,200 lifeguards in this river. So for the next hour or so, drowning is going to be the least of your concerns if you end up in the river. Now, I do just ask that if you do end up in the river, the last thing that I want you to yell out is just your name, so we can cross you off the manifest and pretend like you were never here. It ends up being a lot less paperwork for me and Jack, especially on a Friday afternoon. Now, you guys on the right actually have a snake sitting in front of you.
I told you it was something and you were like, it's a stick.
I know those rules were a long time ago, but I do need you to remember them.
I told ya. Here you are.
Now, I'm not going to get too close to that snake because he will quite happily jump on board, and I'm guessing that you guys probably don't want to share your tour with the snake.
I knew it.
We actually jumped there on the first tour today.
Oh my.
And the second is that the current and the wind are pushing us backwards. So if we were to actually start interacting with Marilyn, we'd be back inside that non-interaction zone, and it would become the most expensive tourism attraction in Darwin.
He's a big crocodile.
Because if we started interacting with, and he's also the oldest crocodile that we work with. So he has actually been working with this company for its entirety, a bit over 35 years. And when they first met Stumpy 35 years ago, he was about 4.5 meters long. So just on that alone, that puts him somewhere in the bracket of 40 to 60 years old. And that was 35 years ago. So we know that he's at least in his mid-70s, but he could quite possibly be up around his
I'm going
90s.
to take a photo.
He's like on the prowl.
I'm going to take a photo.
Alright, you have to stay seated.
Now, Stumpy himself is about 4.8 metres long. However, it is worth noting that he is missing 2.5 of his legs, so you can take 3 feet off.
Dinner. I want
Alrighty, so this looks like a crocodile that Jack actually named. His name is Fish Fingers. Now, Fish Fingers is what we refer to as a rogue male, which isn't as dramatic as it sounds. Basically, all that means is that he's a sexually mature male that isn't big enough or strong enough to hold a territory of his own. So while he is massive, he's just not big enough to compete with the likes of Stumpy. However, he is in Stumpy's territory, and therefore what he's trying to do is get around and get enough food to get by. During the breeding season, he wants to score as many one-night stands as he can with Stumpy's girlfriends. And just all around avoid Stumpy, because Stumpy is a wanky old crocodile. Now, he is doing a very good job. However, Fish Fingers is missing one of his legs. He's also got a little bit of, it's kind of like an abscess or a cyst forming on his side, but it doesn't seem to have any kind of, don't go walking around, just remain up on that step. So you do one of two things. The first is the easiest and most recommended. It's stay out of the water to begin with. And the second is don't be the slowest person. So if you can swim faster than the person next to you, it's fairly well covered. Now we do have another crocodile that's come over to us. I have a feeling that that's probably Miss. I am just going to try and keep the boat between these two, because while Fish Fingers is a lot bigger, Miss knows that if she makes enough commotion, she's got backup. So he doesn't want to come into close proximity with her and cause a bunch of splashing, because these crocodiles do most of their sensing in this river through pressure change and vibration. So not only that, they have quite good hearing and quite good vision as well, but if there was a bunch of splashing happening up here, or say, you know, him having a go at Miss, Stumpy would be straight up here to check it out. And he doesn't want to have to deal with that. Now, Miss isn't quite a fully grown female. She's around about 2.7, 2.6 centimetres.
You got one.
That being said, from there she looks well proportioned. She is a fat, stubby crocodile when you actually see her out of the water. Now that, for a crocodile, that's actually a compliment. I mean, she's good at hunting. But Fish Fingers is doing an excellent job for us. I get one or two more out of him. Now, some of you may have noticed as well that they do have some very discoloured teeth. They've also got some nice shiny white ones in the mix. So these crocs can actually replace their teeth up to 3 times a year if need be. Now, in saying that, most of the time they're not going to need to replace them that often.
He got it.
Got it.
Take a picture.
So only 30 to 40% of clutches actually hatch, and then of those hatchlings, only 1% makes it to adulthood. So it takes roughly 10 to 15 years of sexual maturity and having eggs before these females are likely to actually have a successful clutch of eggs. Which, you know, it sounds terrible, but we have over 100,000 adult saltwater crocodiles in the NT. Each female of about 2.3 metres or more is laying an average clutch size of 50 eggs a year, once per year, and 80% of the wild population is female. So it's a little bit like the opposite to Darwin nightclubs. So it's statistically, if you work it out, you know, 50 eggs for 80,000 crocodiles, there's enough for only 30 to 40 of those. % of those to actually make it to hatching, and then the hatchlings, most of which, about 90%, are eaten within the first year of their life. So it's a very, very hard life out here for a crocodile, which could explain why they're so angry to hide from you. In fact, it's the exact opposite. He wants you to see him because he wants us to feed him. Unfortunately, he doesn't do anything, and I mean, if I weighed about 800 kilos, I wouldn't do anything either. But it does just go to show how good they are at hiding, even when they're not trying.
Just leave it there, Clark.
Because millions of years ago, they realised that the smaller you look while you're in the water, the more likely something is. The list goes on. I personally know the researcher that comes down here and tags bull sharks. The biggest bull shark that she's pulled up was another 30 kilometres further down the river, and it was 2.5 metres long. Swimming out here is not a good idea, even if the lizards weren't in the water. Alrighty guys, so we do have to start making our way back to the jetty, but as we do that, Jack will be getting the birds down. These are the black kites, and there might be some whistling kites. They are the most common raptor species up here in the top end. They've got a few different nicknames. One being Firebird or Fire Stick Bird. That looks like a small white belly or a wedge tail over there. Might go look at that quickly. Does anyone have anything to do?
No.
No one's in any kind of hurry?
No.
Alright, we'll go check out this bird very quickly.
What an incredible day out on the Adelaide River. Seeing these massive crocodiles leap from the water was something we'll never forget. And it's easy to see why this is one of the Northern Territory's most popular attractions. We hope you enjoyed coming along for the adventure and getting a closer look at some of Australia's most amazing wildlife. Before we finish, we'd like to give a big shout out to little Cleo, who took all of the photos you've seen at the end of this video. She did a fantastic job capturing the action and helping us remember such an amazing day. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and join us next week as we continue exploring more of Australia's incredible destinations. Until next time, safe travels, and we'll see you on the next adventure.